For those of you who's thinking that all the problem is on your kingdom spouse side, even though maybe it looks like this, that they are the one who does not want to make this relationship move forward, I will tell you this, that is far from the truth. A lot of people I have talked to, if I tell you, most of them, the problem is actually on them. A lot of you are going by what you see. When you are called in any kind of assignment, let's put kingdom spouse assignment aside, you need to understand, if there's any curses in your bloodline, God is not going to bring you and your kingdom spouse together until this curse is broken. Okay? And if I tell you, most of my clients I've talked to, it came down to the problem is actually on their side. But the reason why they cannot see that the problem is actually coming from their background is because their kingdom spouse is acting unfair. I will explain to you. Let's say you are someone who's coming from a family where people don't get married, or even if they get married, if they get divorced. You know that this is a curse. Or drinking and abuse and all those stuff. If this is a pattern in your bloodline, in your family, do you know that God is actually calling a lot of you to break this pattern? Now, if one of these curses is running in your bloodline, in your background, okay, do you know that those unclean spirits will manifest in your kingdom spouse to fulfill its purpose in your life? This is why a lot of you getting this whole thing wrong. Just because your kingdom spouse is acting some kind of way does not mean he's doing it willingly. You see, spirits, they need body in order to function in this life. So if you are coming from a family where there's a divorce, or people don't get married, or there's an abusive marriage, or all those things, guess what? When you meet your kingdom spouse, this spirit gonna operate in your kingdom spouse, especially if your kingdom spouse is someone who is not close to God, who is not strong in the spirit. That curse that is in your family, in your bloodline, will now manifest in this your kingdom spouse to fulfill its purpose. Do you get? I will tell you this. Please don't look at your kingdom spouse as if they are the one who is doing it. Look beyond their body, their physical body. Look in the spirit. What spirit is operating in your kingdom spouse? Now you need to think about this thing. And even some of you that are dealing with counterfeit, if you are coming from a background where, let's say, your father left your mother and run away with someone else, with a young girl, guess what? That is a curse. It will repeat itself until you break it. That counterfeit that has come between you and your kingdom spouse, it is not a counterfeit. It's the spirit that is in your background. It's the same spirit that is operating in this woman to fulfill its purpose, to fulfill things that, you know, it has been doing in your bloodline. This might be maybe your grandfather, great-great-great-grandfather. And most of the time, they are not even aware of what they are getting themselves into. And as soon as they sign this or they come in agreement with this, guess what? From then, that spirit is gonna be entitled of this bloodline. Anyone that is coming from that family, anyone this blood is running in their vein, that spirit thinks they have authority over this blood. God will be fed up with this thing. Now He's gonna bring your kingdom spouse. Most of the time, if you are the one God wants to use to break this curse, guess what? He will use relationship. He will bring your kingdom spouse, because people act quickly when it comes to their emotions. People act quickly when it comes to love. So what God gonna do is He will bring your kingdom spouse. Now that spirit that is in your bloodline, God is calling you to break. God will allow that spirit to be operating in your kingdom spouse, so that your kingdom spouse will make you draw closer to God, and so that God can reveal more to you and break that curse. If you don't know what you're doing, I keep on telling you this. Ask. Seek for help. Don't look at your kingdom spouse as if they are the one who's doing it. Look at them in the spirit realm. The moment you decide to not look at the physical body, to decide to look at them in the spirit realm, everything will change. You will see clearly what is going on. So a lot of you are praying on surface things. You are not digging. A lot of my clients, they'll be like, Bambi, I've been praying, I've been fasting, but nothing's happening. There's a fastings, there's a way of praying so that God can reveal to you that specific thing you need to pray against. But a lot of you are only praying on the surface. Oh God, bring my kingdom spouse back. Oh God, why me? Why me? No, that's not. Child, if this is how you pray, you are still baby in this business. I will tell you this. If this is how you pray, you victimize yourself. You ask yourself, God, why? When they're going to return? You are focusing on when this is going to happen. I will tell you this. You are still a baby in spirit, because you will stand there asking the same question over and over and over again. Nothing going to happen if you do not pray the correct prayers. You do not fast the correct fasting, so that God can reveal this root to you. And I will tell you this, the moment he revealed this root to you, whatever is hindering or whatever has been hindering your family or your relationship, God revealed this to you. Now you have your target. Now you have your target. So before knowing all this, I know sometimes it can be hard, especially if your spirituality is not that developed. It's hard to understand what to do